Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. We're back in the Watcher of Realms and I need to get this done, or I've just done this, so I'm just going to get a quick video out for it. So first things first, let's get that off. So when we redo our run, we're running it there again. This for me was the worst of them. So the new stages, the map changes, and 19 and 21 are your ground units, and then 20 and 22 are your platform based units, right? So I think it's really well done. I really do. I think this is a good thing they've done, and I think it's well aimed. So I think most people will be able to do, if you're at 18 and you can do 18 comfortably, I think moving on to 19 and 20 won't be that much of a problem for you. So I think is good. The jump from 21 and 22 is a bit more significant, but at least you're getting the rules from 19 and 20. So you're getting your which way around is it? Yeah, Titan at the start, and then Wisdom for the platform basic. Yeah, so you are getting your new materials, but you won't get as many of them as if you're doing the stages 21 and 22. Now 21 is, I felt, easier because you can sort of cheese it. The boss gets a new ability when you start to do stages 21 and 22. So he has this ability here, detonates all summoned cursed lackeys, dealing massive damage to all adjacent units. So it just blows everything up, which is it's fine on stages 21 because we can roll through enough platform based units and we can tank up enough of them and let the boss kill them all. We don't really have to worry about DPS. 22, however, because it's platform based, we don't have enough ground tiles to use to tank them up for the boss to actually kill them for us. We actually have to do the damage ourselves, so you do have to have some good damage on your DPS to get this done. So that's realistically where you are, where I am with it. So that is very much the plan, so to speak. Right, let's jump into it. Make sure we've got the right one. Paradomus off. Okay, and the fight. So I'll move myself out of the way later in a minute. So what I'm going with is cultists. We all know they are top draw when it comes to AoE DPS, so we are going with them. Realistically, Denny's there just because she's the Lord and she's given us that big Lord skill which we want. That's fantastic. And then I pulled Björna the other day and we've maxed her out and done her up, and we're going with her. Healer wise, I've gone with Hollow. I don't even know the gear on Hollow. We'll see that in a minute later anyway, so she won't be able to buffed up. And then we've got our two essentially free heroes there. So a limited summons, both 250 summons, and you've got them. So watch out for limited summon events. They're fantastic heroes, although you always have been so far. Fingers crossed they keep that up. And then afterwards, I've gone for sort of a freeze con. So hence Mary and Boris, they've gone in there to use them up as sort of the freeze con. And then because I haven't got tanks to put down there, I found the tanks are dying. I couldn't get enough DPS out, so I traded having any tanks for more DPS. So my DPS is freeze orientated to slow them and halt their mass exodus off the screen, and then I can get in and do some more DPS. So the two tanks I've got one tank for the top left. We'll have a look at that later, and then I've got one tank for when the boss comes down if I need that. And then I've got an archer as well, sorry, a marksman as well. I was going to call them archers. Now you only need one, and that's it. And the reason you can use a mage if you want, but I've gone with a marksman because they have the artifact where they heal themselves. I haven't got to worry about healing him. We just put him on the map, forget about him, and he can heal himself away, and that is that pretty much taken care of. So let's jump into the run, and I'll pop myself out of the way and that sort of good stuff. Okay, so for me, Mary goes down first. Now the reason she's going down here, look, if I place Hollow, I've got to place her that close so I can fit in Björna as well. Okay, that's really, it's where the healer's going, sort of dictates where the rest of the team have to go. And like I say, I'm going without a tank or any tanks really to stop these mobs coming down. I'm going with freezing them and nuking them while they're frozen. That's essentially the the plan, and I've tried a couple of other plans. There are a few I'm trying to work out with tanks and trying to block them and that sort of thing. It's not going particularly well, if I'm honest. As soon as we've got our 17 coins up, we can get our healer up. We can start healing everyone up. Trigger off our first ultimate. There we are. As soon as Mary's available, we'll trigger off her ultimate, get that cooking, and we can start to get people frozen off. And then we can start to do a bit more damage to people, which is what we want to do. We want to keep that damage going on everyone, and as soon as we can, there we go, possibly a little early, there we are. Should get the rest of the DPS done, I think. Should be able to DPS the rest down. Just got one or two trickling along there. There's our next tank going down. There we are. Now, when you place whoever you're using up here, if you place them this way around with the 3 tiles that way, you're going to get more of the adds, the smaller adds that come around. You'll have more time to hit them. If you place them this way round, it is the larger ad that comes across the back of the screen. He's just spawning up now. He will come across the back and then take that motion down. If you come that way round, it's the smaller ads that you seem to get more of. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It might help your placement. And the only other thing we're expecting now is waiting on the boss, doing a couple of hits. And then we're looking up at this top right for our mobs to come out. When our mobs come out at the top right, that's when we want to start placing our get a hollow, get some rage regen. That's when we want to start placing our mages. There we go. There's 3 hits from the boss there. Mobs will start coming out, but we can place our Silas down now, because as soon as he's got someone to actually hit, he'll actually start regenning then. So there come the mobs in the top right. That's nice for us. There we go. Now we can see Silas is now healing himself back up because he's got that artifact on, so we can sort of forget about him really. Their health is nice and low. We can get Vienna to nuke them. Winner. Trigger off Silas's ult. Try and get these ads down. They're done beforehand. Last one there. All is good. As soon as the ultimates are all on cooldown, we can trigger Hollow. We get her done, we can start that rage regen, get that back round as soon as we can. Keep it on the top left, keep that damage coming up. And we are looking good. Bit slow with the rage coming back through. Could have done with that being a bit sooner. But I think we're looking mostly alright. We'll start to get the boss down soon. Start getting those freezes off. So you may have to play around with your rage regen for this, depending on how you're looking. So bear that in mind. Now, all the mobs at the top right are pretty much done for. We don't have to worry about them. One of them got through on the boss. Not a great biggie. I'm not overly worried by it, to be honest. There's Silas. A few more mobs coming around for him. As soon as he's killed that mob, there we go. That's the last mob for Silas. We can get rid of him. Now our issue is we do need the boss to get rid of some of the flowers so we can get a tank down. We're looking out. There we go. There's our blossom gone, so we can get the tank down now. Because otherwise we can't get the tank down. And now it's just trigger ultimates to kill the boss, and that is pretty much it. It's not that easy. Whether we can do something with regards to get more freezes and more freezes damage coming through, I don't know. There's this devastating strike. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue for us. A little 1% to do on the boss. Dear, this is going to turn into a disaster now. 6% to do on the boss. Wait for the devastating strike to go. We've still got Denny down if we need her. There we go. There, the boss is dead. There we go. And that was with power dominance off. It's not the easiest to fight. I haven't found a really easy way to do this yet. I do think the freezing and slowing everyone down so you've got time to do it is probably the best way ahead. And I've had to chuck all my best gear on my heroes to actually get anywhere with this. Let's have a look at, there she is. She's top DPS for this. Okay, there you go. That's how the DPS panned out. Oh, it's not so great. Yeah, you were only there for the freeze, just there for the tank, don't get any healing, you didn't do anything, you were just there to be a lord. So that's how the DPS actually panned out. I'm going to have a look at their gear and things like that. I did have a play around with fight. I couldn't really get the fighter option to work. There's Denny, there's her gear, which wasn't used, maybe put down at the end if needed. There's our DPS herself. Soulbound Arcana, that's why I triggered off hers last. I think she was the 4th ultimate to go, and then the next time round she'd have had the full 5 stacks, so that was her done. Also, I got her in Tear of Twilight. I have got her exclusive there. I'll replace that in there now. It's actually dropped, so she wasn't as good. I didn't find I was clearing it in her artifact, but then it's only level 10, so who knows. She done all right. There we go. Takes care of that lane quite well. Not awakened or anything like that, but there's her gear. Again, it's moving on to relatively decent gear, I think. Not so much decent gear on this one. She's more of an auto run, but I mean, she does enough damage for me. She gets the area cleared. She looks after that lane fight. It's not an issue. I didn't have to overly gear her up. Hollow, there we go. Yeah, not the best gear going, but it's fine. There isn't that much healing to be done. Once you, other than the devastating strike at the end by the boss where he does that, other than that, not a great deal of healing going on. The tank, that's our first one. He was just up there soloing his own little lane on the top left, and then we had a just to tank the boss. There we go. Skills all done, fully awakened, and all of that sort of good stuff. And not the best tier 3 stuff, but it's all got sort of defensive stats, so I've rolled it up to see how it goes, and it seems to be working all right. So there we go, and we've got the new tier 3 stuff coming soon. And then after that we were, there she is there. That's her gear. More concentrating on just going quickly than anything else. So I think most of her gear has got speed attached to it. There she is there. That's her artifact she's using. I just wanted the chance to slow everything down, which is what she's there for, and keep her going relatively fast. So that's what she was there for. There's Oppo, and now he's getting attack speed and rage by 55 seconds. This can only be triggered. So when he's attacking slow targets, so she's slowing him down, he's attacking slow targets, and that's how we're trying to get his rage back as quickly as possible. He is all skilled out. There's his gear there. He's on the lower end of the damage, but there he is there. Whether you could get something working with I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but maybe. I'm not sure if between the packs she's got enough time to start getting those frost bombs out, but maybe we'll try that later on as well. Give that a whirl. Like I said, there is this is my Silas. I've kept his normal gear on that he's doing for Guild Boss, but I did swap over his artifact. So this is the artifact he's in when we're doing the run, because of this little bit here. Restores 4% of the hero's max HP. So each time he's hitting, he's getting his 4% of his max HP back. So when the AoE is going on from the boss, I don't have to worry about dying or replacing him with anyone else. He's just there for that. So we've done 2 tanks. Yeah, it was the hardest one I've had to do. The one before it is cheesable with enough tanks, he can blow them up. That's not an issue. Videos on this will be linked anyway, so feel free to go and watch excuse me, go and watch whichever one you're on. If I can find an easier way to do it, or you've got hints and tips on how you did it, love to hear about and put them in the comments below, and I'll try them out and see if we can get the requirements as far down as possible for whenever we can get updates on the global, and then people can start really looking at it. Right, thank you very much for your time. That's me done. I'll see you in a video again soon. Thank you very much. If you can, on your way out, just do the thumbs up. It would help me out. If you want to put down your teams, that would help me out as well in the comments. And of course, if you haven't, like most of you haven't, if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.